Friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome back to Going in Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to. On today's episode, we're talking AEW Dynamite with the debut of one of the members of Prime Undisputed Era, the last one to not be in AEW. That's right, Roderick Strong. We're going to talk about that and all of Dynamite from last night. Also on this episode, we got the lowdown on the big meeting between CM Punk and Chris Jericho. What were the huge events that took place during this very significant
summit?
meeting?
Oh, you're a meeting. It sounded like a summit.
This was a summit, God
It was
damn
a summit.
Yeah. But first, we got to talk about how racist WWE is. Try to be lighthearted about it, but this is some pretty serious stuff. So, of course,
It is.
news broke yesterday that former WWE writer Brittany Abrahams was suing the company. Current and former members of the creative team, Stephanie McMahon and Vince McMahon, alleging discriminatory treatment, having a hard time reading today, harassment, hostile work environment, wrongful termination, unlawful retaliation due to her race, color, and gender. Defendants devised, implemented, and executed a scheme through which they gave disparate preferential treatment and superior benefits to male and white Caucasian employees while knowingly and intentionally denying equal treatment and benefits to female and black African-American employees, including plaintiff. Abrams stated that WWE claimed she was fired from the company after taking a commemorative chair at WrestleMania 38, even though other white male writers took chairs and were not admonished. She asserts in the suit that she was fired because she pushed back against racist and offensive creative pitches. In the suit, which was filed Monday, Abrams details several times where she pushed back against, quote, offensively racist and stereotypical jargon and discriminatory pitches, including these following pitches here, which, be prepared to cringe because these are pretty bad.
Yes.
Writer Chris Dunn tried to include the dialogue for a Bianca Belair promo. Don't make me take off my earrings and beat your ass. Despite the fact that Belair told Dunn 3 different times, quote, that I don't want to say that line, but he never listens to me. He puts that line in every week. Ms. Belair said the script's discriminatory lines made her look, quote, ghetto. WWE also forced wrestler Apollo Crews to speak with a Nigerian accent just because of his Nigerian lineage. That's something that Apollo Crews had basically said that he was forced to do that and he wasn't happy about it. He's still an employer. He's still contracted with WWE. And, obviously he's in NXT. He doesn't use that accent anymore. Writer Ryan Callahan, who I think is like the lead on SmackDown.
Yeah, I think so.
Pitched the idea of having Shane Thorne, who, if you remember correctly, for a while, like there were pictures of this, but they never showed up on TV.
I think it was only on the house show circuit they did this.
House show, he did like a crocodile hunter thing, which is like a 40-year-old movie about starring, what was his name?
Paul Hogan.
Paul Hogan.
Yes.
Being, he was a crocodile. No. That's Crocodile Dundee. Then there was the other guy.
Oh, Steve Irwin.
Steve Irwin. He was a crocodile hunter. Anyways. So Shane Thorne, as this hunter, was supposed to capture Reggie and constantly beat him up. But Reggie would always escape after being captured. Holding Reggie captive in cages was also discussed. Also, while taking pitches for a storyline involving Aaliyah, Angel Garza, and Mansoor, Callahan pitched that Mansoor could be, quote, behind the 9/11 attacks, which if I read this correctly on Twitter, he was around 6 in 2000.
Yeah, I saw that as well, yes.
It continues. Abrams also states in the suit that Jennifer Pepperman, who was a writer, is that correct?
I believe so, yes.
Okay. Discriminatorily treated plaintiff and other black and African-American WWE employees poorly compared to their similarly situated white and Caucasian counterparts. Plaintiff described the discrimination and hostile work environment she had been subjected to by Pepperman and had witnessed by Pepperman towards other minority employees. At a different time, plaintiff received a call from WWE Human Resources representatives. They said, quote, it was brought to our attention that you called some pitches racist, and I want to know if it was directed at you or a part of direction for a storyline. Plaintiff told them it was for a storyline, but that it came from lead writer Callahan, so it really shouldn't have been said once, let alone twice, no matter serious or in jest. Plaintiff told them it was an offensive joke. The suit also details a meeting Abrams and another writer, Kyla Silvers, had with WWE Senior VP of Creative Writing, Christine Lubrano, stating Lubrano met with plaintiff and Ms. Silvers and deliberately downplayed Heller's and Callahan's discriminatory remarks by claiming that she had heard it was a joke. And wacky things are said in the writer's room all the time. When plaintiff indicated that it doesn't make it okay, Lubrano responded, I know, but look at the waves we're making in the company. 4 years ago, no woman worked on the writer's team. Lubrano followed up and told plaintiff she was doing a great job and that Bruce Pritchard, Vince McMahon, and Stephanie McMahon love her writing, but she should be careful to pick and choose her battles. None of this is surprising. None of this is shocking.
Sadly, no.
It is interesting and shocking to see the actual details and how this kind of stuff plays out. But when the top of your company is Vince McMahon, and I believe at this time you've got Johnny Ace in the company, none of this it's all very sad. It's all super unsettling.
Yeah, it is.
And pretty gross. And sad that we're sitting here, a year or two removed from when this was going on. Yeah. And no doubt Callahan is still, if I'm not mistaken, still leading SmackDown.
I believe
right
so.
now.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it goes back to, after Swole, I know Swole wasn't in WWE, but I think her point applies here too. After she left AEW, she said her podcast talked about the lack of representation and management.
Exactly. Yeah.
And how that led to the presentation of wrestlers on screen. Mm-hmm. And how that was a major problem in AEW.
Yeah.
It's an enormous problem in WWE too.
It's enormous problem. It's an enormous problem across the corporate landscape.
Yes, it is.
Like we know that. But in WWE, where it begins at the top, like this kind of behavior seemingly is like encouraged, by example. I don't know what, where this lawsuit will lead, if it'll go anywhere, if it'll be dismissed. I was doing like a modicum of research there. I remember in 2006, there was a lawsuit brought against the producers of the show Friends for basically, harassment in the writer's room. It was brought in California. This obviously is I think the lawsuit's being brought in Connecticut. That would make probably the most sense.
It's in New York. Is it New York?
Oh, it's in New York. Okay.
This one is in New York. Yeah.
Okay. The Friends one was brought in California, and it was dismissed by the California Supreme Court because it was a situation where the defense was, well, it's a writer's room. We have to be allowed the freedom to sort of express certain things in order to get to writing. Creatively, we can't be hindered by normal workplace, HR rules and regulations. And the California Supreme Court dismissed and basically said, common sense and social context have to be,
recognized.
The deciding factors. And so, evidently there was not enough proof to suggest this is a lot different, though. This is, there's a much bigger difference here. And who knows how this is going to play out? You'd hope that this is going to kick up a big shitstorm. Yeah. And things will change and things will happen. Who knows how the Endeavor merger will affect this, if at all. But yeah, it's disheartening to see this, that the wrestlers have to go through this kind of shit. Bianca Belair is a big star. She's a big moneymaker for the company.
I know.
And some pissant, trying to insert some stereotypical jargon in her promos is frankly unacceptable.
It really is. And I'm happy you mentioned that this is an issue not just in the sphere of pro wrestling, but kind of in business and life kind of writ large, unfortunately. It is a major problem. It's like this is just a little bit of it. Brandon Thurston has an extensive write-up of some of the stuff, including the lawsuit, is included here in the description. Highly recommend you read it. I don't remember if Thurston had it in this breakdown or if I saw this someplace else, but elsewhere they were talking about just like issues coming up with creative ideas for Bianca. I'm like,
yeah.
I don't know, man. There's so much of this stuff that is it's disheartening, it's saddening that this stuff happens. But we hear it all the time that in the world of business, this type of stuff, unfortunately, still happens, and until people are held accountable, on a regular basis, hopefully that comes to pass here, where some of these people who are responsible for these pitches and responsible for Brittany Abrams losing her job, because she pushed back against their offensive and racist ideas, are held accountable. And
I don't know. Again, I don't know where this is going to lead to. If it actually goes to trial and there's like a discovery process, that could be really interesting. There's a lot of shit that could be dug up because I would just imagine this is just scratching the surface. So something to keep an eye on. Who knows where it's going to go? It might take a long time. Vince is notorious for, trying to bleed, anybody who comes at him with a lawyer, he tries to bleed them dry,
I mean, going back to the Endeavor thing, based on what Ari Emanuel's comments were regarding Vince returning, in light of the allegations made against Vince when he stepped down last year, between that and the Dana White thing, I'd be hard pressed to think that Ari Emanuel would be holding Vince accountable for any of this.
I doubt it. Yeah. No, I think
you're right. Which is a bummer.
It is, absolutely. It is. Yeah. So, stay tuned. Don't expect too much to happen, but who knows if it affects any change whatsoever, remains to be seen. In much less significant news, but much more lighthearted.
Seemingly, there's not a whole lot to it. Now that it's come to pass.
So
CM Punk Chris Jericho meeting.
Summit, Larson.
Sorry, Summit. Sorry, apologies. Was this at Camp David?
It probably should have been for the weight of it all.
So according to Fightful Select and PW Torch's Wade Keller, that rumored meeting between Tony Khan, CM Punk, FTR, and Chris Jericho recently took place, and it seems like it was fairly uneventful based on the reports. Keller stated, and these transcripts come to you from WrestlingNews.co, quote, "I heard the meeting took place with Jericho and FTR. I think it was supposed to be on a Friday, I think. That might be why Punk was in Tampa, and I just heard from one source that it went well." Fightful Select reported that, quote, "Those familiar with the situation said the meeting was relatively uneventful, all things considered, especially when taking into consideration the issues the two have had."
I want to know details. Were there muffins?
That's a good question. Who hosted?
What drinks were there?
Because I know Jericho lives in Florida. I don't know where he lives in relation to Tampa, though. So, was this at Jericho's house?
Did anybody get peaches out? That's what I want to know. Anybody get the peaches out? Johnny, get the peaches. A lot of questions here. Like uneventful. Did they just sort of sit down and Jericho, anything you want to say?
Nope. The small talk. Weather's nice today, isn't it?
It's really humid here in Florida, isn't it? Yeah. It's good to go out for a run, get a good sweat going.
Yeah, if you step outside the door, you get a good sweat going too.
Yeah.
Not humid like this in Chicago.
Yeah. It's very windy though. Larson wouldn't like it there. Who's Larson? You don't know about the Going in Raw podcast?
Oh, that's a real pissant podcast. No one pays attention to it. They're new though, so they got a long. They got a good road ahead of them.
Yeah, Punk's like, I only leak to the biggest names like Dave Meltzer. Oh yeah.
Oh so my goodness.
Another thing to stay tuned to.
Yeah,
that shit. Anyways, let's talk about AEW last night. Roderick Strong came out of nowhere. Nobody saw. Apparently, when I first saw the big logo on the screen, did you see this? Do you think this was Sean Ross Sapp?
I saw there were several people on social media that was like, "Oh, it's Sean Ross Sapp, fresh off his appearance, Black Label Pro."
yeah.
In AEW now.
Yeah, because it said SRS, and I was like, "That's weird."
Well, it was like the R was breaking through the S, so the S was in two pieces.
Oh, that's what it was. Okay. And then, but fairly quickly, the Tron said Roderick Strong. And I was like, oh, shit, that's cool. Didn't see that one coming because
they should have switched it where you had the Roderick coming in and the Strong, and then you do the logo after that.
Yeah.
For maximum impact, because there's a few seconds people looking at the Tron like, who is this?
Yeah, Sean Ross Sapp. I subscribed to Fightful. Now he's here in AEW. Wow. Why didn't he get the scoop on this? And they didn't get the scoop. Nobody got the scoop on Roderick Strong. This is an actual surprise. He's been not seen on WWE TV for the longest time. Fightful Select had some details on his return. I'm sorry, on his debut for AEW. He got the graphic. He signed to the company. I guess at some point WWE was looking to use him as a coach. Of course, he was supposed to be a centerpiece for the Cruiserweight division before Vince McMahon basically, kicked
pulled
Triple
the plug
H
on that thing. Yeah,
right. And so that didn't happen. He was in the Diamond Mine. They did a whole thing there. And then that was it. I think he was like in the hospital the last time we saw him on WWE TV.
That sounds right.
Yeah,
that sounds right.
Yeah,
after he was attacked by Damon Kemp, right?
Mm-hmm. I think so. Yeah, and we were like, "Oh, is he in on it? What's going on here?" And then it was just he was gone. They never did anything with it.
Just gone entirely. Yeah, that's cool. I mean, I know Roderick Strong is one of your favorite wrestlers.
Are you being sarcastic?
No, you always say
in ring he is. Yeah. No, I love Roderick Strong. I always felt like personality-wise, he needs to do a certain thing for me to really like get into his character. But like he's done that, and I've really enjoyed his character work. Oftentimes, I've been like, oh man, he's kind of boring. His in-ring is spectacular. Like, he's one of them dudes that makes everything look and feel real. So I'm really excited to have him there in AEW.
Yeah. I mean, when he was doing the shitty, snarky heel stuff in Undisputed Era, he was wildly entertaining.
Yeah, he was really good, calling people dorks and everything. Yeah, he was great.
He was really good. As kind of generic babyface, not that interesting, but for the most part, AEW doesn't really do generic baby faces. So if he's allowed to just go out there and just be Roderick Strong, could be a lot of fun.
I mean, dude, theoretically, I know Kyle O'Reilly is going through a lot of medical issues right now, I think. But you could have like the prime Undisputed Era team of those three guys.
I know.
Back in the company altogether, and maybe they can pick that thread back up because I know that's something they wanted to do before when it was Bobby Fish instead. So who knows if we'll get that, but right now, seeming he's going to be in Adam Cole's corner, or at least evening the odds against the Jericho Appreciation Society.
Entertainers.
Yeah.
Now, does that mean Bob Fish is coming back?
I mean, given what, last time, I kind of feel like no, right? Like, didn't he? Look, they can have one of two people. CM Punk or Bobby Fish, because Bobby Fish tried to kick out of the friggin'
that's true with the GTS.
Go to the GTS.
Yeah,
I think that more than anything probably precludes that from happening.
Well, I mean, he'll have to be on Dynamite.
Wait, what's? Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, they can do that now because Punk's
they can
be
do
on
that now. Just another person doesn't get along with CM Punk.
Yeah, exactly.
Add him to the Dynamite lineup.
Yeah. Put him on there. So I don't know. Dynamite seemed better than last week. I thought it was a better episode than it was last week.
Yeah, it was fine.
I mean, last week I went off on the show, and those issues aren't changing. But so,
sadly, no.
Copy paste this week too. That's just a cultural thing there in AEW. But in terms of like having entertaining television, I thought it was all right this week. I thought it was pretty decent.
It was fine. I mean, you got some somewhat random team ups like Orange Cassidy and Bandito after having a really good match. Now they're friends. And they're going out to help Adam Cole. I understand Cassidy's had his own fair share, and for that matter, Bandito as well, of issues with the JAS. But just to kind of based on one interview, have them go out and help Adam Cole. Tad random.
Yeah, pretty. I thought there was like other people that probably could have come to the rescue, but like Keith Lee, like he had him. It's like they're doing everything they can. It's like they're doing everything they can to keep. Who's Keith Lee and Dustin fighting?
I don't remember.
It's not Bullet Club Gold, is it?
I don't know because it's Ricky and
that's right.
Sean Spears.
Sean Spears, yeah.
Fighting.
Is Sean
Jay
Spears going to join Bullet Club Gold?
Oh, that'd be cool.
Is he going to turn on?
I was thinking of watching Bandito with his gear on last night.
Yeah.
Bullet Club Gold.
That'd be good. I kind of thought it was hilarious that like they had this really killer match and then Bandito was all on board with the Orange Cassidy stuff.
I know. That's what I'm talking about. It
was weird, but I thought it was kind of cute. I was like, oh, it's kind of funny. They're best friends. Whatever. That's fine. Bit random, bit lazy.
Oh, let's talk about the angle at the end of the main event. So, as you would expect, Kenny Omega and Takeshita got the W over Butcher and the Blade in the main event afterwards. Yeah. And Danielson was on commentary for the bout. Afterwards, he distracts them a bit by dropping a promo. They get laid out by Blackpool Combat Club from behind. Young Bucks come to the ring, try to even the odds. They're all eventually taken out by the Blackpool Combat Club. but not before Kenny's got screwdriver in hand and is about to ram it into Mox's face. And Danielson's ringside telling Takeshita to get in the ring and don't let that happen. So Takeshita gets in the ring and stops Kenny from doing it.
Yeah.
Which leads to the Elite getting laid out. At the end of that, they raise up Takeshita's hands like he's a part of the Blackpool Combat Club. Danielson, and then Takeshita's like, no, I want nothing to do with this.
Like, what the heck? What's happening here? Yeah.
And so they lay him out, and then Mox stabs him in the head repeatedly with that damn screwdriver.
Yeah.
And the last image of the show is Takeshita bleeding.
Yeah.
What is BCC's thing? How do you join the BCC?
Yeah, you bleed with them, yeah.
You bleed with them.
Yeah.
Takeshita's totally joined the Blackpool Combat Club, yeah?
I think it's Kenny. I think Kenny's joining. I think he is. I think Takeshita, I think they're going to do like, no, I'm, a man of honor or whatever. And yeah, no, that's a great, I think that's a great clue that might end up being, what is it? Like a red herring or whatever,
Yes.
like a literal red herring because of the blood. Where it's like, yeah, oh no, they bleed. Because I thought the same thing of Don Callis, which, I mean, that could still happen.
Yeah.
He came with a chair and then he didn't come with the chair. But, yeah, I mean, is this jumping him in? Maybe. Like, you bleed with him. You don't get hit in the nuts area with them. But no, all the misdirection, I think, with Danielson running down Kenny Omega makes me want Kenny to join them. And I want that just to be a big ruse. And then you have Takeshita with the Elite. I think that would be more fun for me. But I could go either way. I could see Takeshita joining in. Yeah, sure.
Because if Takeshita joins Blackpool Combat Club, that means Hangman and probably Kota Ibushi join up with the Elite for the 5-on-5 match.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds amazing.
No, it does. That sounds really great. That really does. And that's probably more likely how it's going to go down.
Yeah.
But I don't know. The idea of villainous Kenny being with the Blackpool Combat. Number one, Danielson is so good.
Oh, he is
so
good.
Even when he goofed.
Oh, yeah. When he
said, if you train with the Elite, if you train with the Black, and the crowd was like, oh, he's like, no. If he trains with the Elite, he started to laugh.
Yeah, I know.
If he trains with the Elite, he's going to be an amateur.
It's so good.
He's having so much fun, and it's fun to see.
And
They're all having a lot of fun.
So much fun.
Yeah.
I know, it's great.
Yeah, it is a lot of fun.
It's
they're
so
just
much
shitty heels. Shitty heels are the best heels.
They really are. Shitty, dangerous heels are the best.
I know, right? I know. That's what you need. I don't like the chicken shit, man. I want like guys who could actually mess you up.
Some menace, exactly. You need some menace, not this chicken shit stuff. Yeah, it was just interesting to have it. The last image of the show, Takeshita bleeding out of his head a little bit. And going back to the Blackpool Combat Club's kind of initiation process.
Yeah, no, I think that's a solid thing. Anytime they're in the ring with somebody and they bleed, I'm like, oh, are they going to join the Blackpool Combat Club now because they bled?
Yeah.
And no, I think that's one thing that they think people might not be necessarily thinking because they're getting stabbed in the head with a friggin' screwdriver. But no, it's a great visual, and I think it would. Like if it's do you want to get the most out of Takeshita? And this is one thing that I was like, man, is he just going to be a nice guy that wrestles? But if you want to add dimension to his character, hell yeah, he joins the Blackpool Combat Club. Absolutely, I think that'd be terrific.
Yeah,
but I think I think Kenny would be so much fun. But yeah, it causes a problem there because Hangman and Kota Ibushi are probably going to be showing up.
Well, also if you get, the potential is there for a lot of really good stuff, but you get such huge personalities, Kenny, Danielson, and Mox.
I know, together. Tell me you wouldn't want to see that. And here's the thing, like you could, if Kota Ibushi comes in, wouldn't it be kind of better for it not to be immediately, oh, the Golden Lovers are back together? Like, wouldn't it be Kota Ibushi comes to try to talk some sense into Kenny Omega, who's joined the Blackpool Combat Club, and then they have a whole feud, and then eventually you come back around to the Golden Lovers being together. You get the best of all the worlds there.
Yeah.
That could be kind of cool. There could be some neat stuff there.
Now that you say that, it's definitely not going to happen.
I know. I put it out there, and it's not going to happen.
Well, I don't think Tony Khan would think like,
oh, Steve confirmed Booker of AEW better.
Well, no, just this. That's. I will say this. Like, usually the Elite stuff is usually well thought out and got a lot of detail to it. And I think usually that's because the Elite probably have a lot to say in their booking.
I think they book their own stuff, yeah.
And so they think about that stuff. Yeah. So I guess it's possible it could happen. I
I'm
mean,
really
that was
curious,
kind of that was part of Kenny's story winning the IWGP Heavyweight title in Japan. Anyways, it's like he needed that reconciliation with Kota Ibushi before he could reach the top. So
Yeah. No, Jonathan here says Mox trying to bleed out Kota.
Yeah.
That'll flip Kenny back to reality.
That could.
There's a lot of cool stuff you could do there. But mainly, I just want to see Kenny, because here's the thing. If Kenny's in full villain mode and he's next to Danielson, Danielson's going to be trying his hardest not to laugh.
Yeah, I know.
And it's just going to be watching those three guys, plus like Claudio, trying not to crack each other up, having a blast doing it, which is always my favorite form of wrestling.
Imagine the three of them, the four of them, including Claudio, all barking orders to Wheeler, like slightly different orders. So he's literally like going different ways.
How amazing would that be? How
amazing
would that be? That
could be fun.
That'd be great. Before we get on to the actual Dynamite recap, got a new channel member here, Ulysses Vargas. Thank you very much. Ulysses clicked on join. We got a couple super chats here. Luis Macia says, "Hey, friendos, big fan of the channel. Do you believe with this lawsuit there will be repercussions to Vince McMahon if proven guilty? Now under endeavor." Well, it's a lawsuit, so it's not really like a guilty, not guilty type thing.
Yeah, there'd be punitive damages.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Or what's the other? There's two different kinds of damages. There's punitive damages, and what's the other one?
Oh, man, I don't know. Like when you say it, I'll know it. Punitive.
Well, I'm not going to say because I don't remember it.
If you were to remember it.
There's two types of damages. Anyways.
I'm just trying to do something. Says, isn't bleeding the incitation process of joining the Blackpool Combat Club? That's correct, just as Larson just said. Yeah, so if you're watching this on YouTube, we got 513 people watching right now. Hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and the notify bell. We've got, if you click on join, or if you go to patreon.com/Steven Larson, get access to our bonus episodes tomorrow. Got another episode of Overrun. I don't know what we're going to do on it, but it's going to be a lot of fun because it always is. And then you also got access to the upcoming May Predictions Challenge. You can become the new Big Red Predictions champion. Maggie says compensatory.
That's it. That's
compensating a person for damages.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah.
Thank you. I just pulled that up on the Google machine here too, right as.
Yeah. Oh, also Luis became a new YouTube channel.
Oh, thank you
very much. Luis, you get to join in on the Overrun tomorrow at 3 p.m. Pacific. Also, we have a new tag team champion in Jeff Jarrett, who beat Dax Harwood.
101 and thus, yes.
And then hoisted up the tag title. I love
So
Jeff
good.
Jarrett. He's so good. I was so happy he won.
I know, me too. Well, I mean, Dax doesn't win singles matches.
That's his thing. Yeah, he only wins tag matches.
He's a tag specialist, and so he doesn't win, which makes sense to a degree,
unless he fights Cash, because he had like a win over Cash, didn't he?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, like a tournament or something.
So I guess Cash is an even worse singles wrestler.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Like individually terrible solo wrestlers.
Let's talk about this before we go on. The fatal four-way.
Oh, you're talking about the pillar stuff.
The pillar stuff. Is there? Man. I'm all. If you want to get ambitious with like twists and turns, you need something that's going to elicit any crowd reaction.
Yeah.
That place was silent when they did the DQ finish with MJF and Sammy.
They did the Eddie Guerrero finish. Yeah.
They did the Eddie Guerrero finish. And that crowd was like, what is this crap? But we all know how this is going to go. Next week, there's a big tag match.
Yeah.
MJF and Sammy Guevara versus Darby Allin and Jungle Boy. Sammy Guevara already put off by MJF not letting him get in his big SUV limo thing.
Yeah.
And he said, it's too full. And the camera guy had to, of course.
It's empty. It's absolutely empty.
We could see it's empty. Anybody went in there, made sure nobody was in there. And then Sammy was like, what the heck? Oh, by the way, I didn't watch All Access this week.
Oh, okay. I
was going to watch it this morning, but it wasn't on Xfinity's on demand yet.
Oh, it wasn't? Okay.
Last night, I watched Dynamite late, and then as soon as it finished, it goes into All Access, and the first thing I get is Sammy Guevara saying, I really need to prove to everybody that I'm going to be world champion. I'm like, I don't want to watch this shit right now, man. It's too late at night for this.
Yeah, he didn't miss much.
For me to think that Sammy Guevara is like a normal person.
It was a totally, a contrived for TV bit between Ruby and Ty over Ty breaking her nose.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. goofy.
You know, it was on about the episode of Dynamite that was in Chicago.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
When the Elite and Death Triangle were having their best of 7 series, but they didn't really go into that very much. So yeah, he didn't really miss a whole lot there. Getting back to the Pillars thing.
Yeah.
We talked about it last week, I believe, and how there seemed like a much more direct story based on action they could have told here, where you use the rankings. All 3 of them are trying to get to the top of the rankings to get that match against MJF. They all up in a tie, and so okay, y'all get the match. But you can have them like mess with each other to try to prevent them from getting wins, and so one person do what they can to get ahead and get number 1 ranking to face MJF. I thought that'd have been interesting, and it's all based on competition. There, it's not a whole lot of 20-minute talking segments.
Yeah.
Which outside of MJF, and maybe Sammy, even though 20-minute talking segment. Sammy's gotten better at the talking stuff, but still 20 minutes is a lot. Doing extended talkie bits really isn't the strong suit of Jungle Boy, Darby, or Sammy Guevara.
No, it's not.
So focus the feud on competition, not so much, hey, you got here, you had an easier road to get here than I did. I slept in my car. You didn't. You know,
It's like I slept in the gutter. I slept under a bridge. Yeah.
I mean, that's fine to mention once, but to be the driving force behind an entire feud.
Yeah, who had a shittier time coming up.
Yeah, it's like just show me that they want it. Don't tell me what that they want it.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I thought, and I don't know exactly what they're trying to do with Sammy Guevara. Like the stuff with him and MJF is kind of cute, I guess. Them like hugging or whatever. It's a little too like, I don't know. It's a little too mixed match challenge, you know? Like they're getting a little cutesy with it. And I don't know what the point is. Like I got the feeling they were trying to drive Sammy towards a big swerve.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, you guys think I'm a piece of crap for signing this paycheck? No, I turn on MJF.
Yeah.
But now that and I thought, I'll be honest with you, I thought, okay, that might actually work. That might accomplish the goal of sort of turning Sammy back into a good guy. We're trying to get him there because he dug this huge hole for himself by being like the most unlikable person in AEW.
Yeah.
And he got this all access thing where he's trying to open up and be like a real person. And I'm like, okay, so that's what they're going to do. He's going to swerve MJF. But like, no, the whole time his character was legitimately going to simply lay down in the main event of Double or Nothing just so he can get this big paycheck. That's the idea. And I'm like, that doesn't really work.
You know, the idea I thought was MJF trying to manipulate Sammy.
Yeah.
Sammy wise to MJF trying to manipulate him.
Right.
And then turning it around MJF in the end. Yeah, that's where
I thought they were going to go with it.
Yeah.
And I thought that might have been fairly effective. Like, you know, you get, MJF thinks he's got everybody, you know, he's got this in the bag. And then Sammy turns on him and everybody's like, oh, no, Sammy fooled him. Yeah. He's good guy.
He doesn't care about the money. He wants title.
Right, which is a total babyface thing to do. Totally, and I thought that's what they were going to go after here.
But at the same time, I knew at no point was the actual main event of Double or Nothing going to be MJF versus Sammy Guevara.
Oh, I agree. I know. I just thought they were going to do something a little bit. I didn't think they were going to do what they did last night, and I just didn't think it was terribly clever. And like, you know, you can just look at the crowd reaction because the crowd was like, "The fuck, this is stupid." Like, that's weird.
It is weird. It is weird. The whole approach to this feud. I mean, we're from the very beginning, from that one segment where they all 4 of them were in the ring. I think we all kind of knew we were getting the 4-way match.
Mm-hmm.
And then to have these twists and turns that don't really add a whole lot of anything.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
To the story, it just, I don't know. Doesn't generate a whole lot of interest in what is your main event for a pay-per-view.
Yeah. It's kind of limp.
You know, whereas if you see people out there, you know, going out there week after week trying to get wins, people trying to cost them victories, maybe going out and injuring somebody. I don't know.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
You know, imagine if not only the 3 people trying to get that match with MJF, but MJF 2 was trying to keep people from getting their wins.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
You know, he busts up Jungle Boy's leg with a pipe or something.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
And then Jungle Boy's got to wrestle, you know, between now and, you know, whatever they determined is the point that the cutoff would be for the rankings for the match of Double or Nothing with a busted up leg.
Mm-hmm.
Has to fight from beneath the whole time. I mean, there's stories there.
Everybody should be clawing to get there.
Yeah,
right. No, that's
not just
point.
like trying to debate in the ring why they have the better case.
Mm-hmm.
Go out there and prove you have the better case.
Yeah, the first week I thought was strong, but at that point, stop talking. Just start wrestling and to make your case. Yeah, no, that's a good point. That's a good point. Anyways, Dynamite started off with Orange Cassidy versus Bandito. Pretty solid match. I like this. Orange Cassidy always puts on good matches.
Mm-hmm.
So anyways, he gets the win here with an orange punch and a beach break.
20 consecutive successful title defenses, they said.
Yeah, man.
The only wrestler has more is Jade.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So he gets a pair of sunglasses out, puts them on Bandito, which is of course a funny gag because Bandito's got that. The commentary is making a really good point. This is something I've always thought about with Bandito. There's no nose hole, like and like his eye holes are like really tiny.
Yeah.
Like, how does this guy do it? Like that's nuts, man.
Well, then they say that he trains with the mask on, and then also trains in Mexico City, which is like I think it's over a mile in elevation.
Oh my God.
So training at the high elevation helps him with that.
Gee whiz.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So then we had an Adam Cole Bebe interview. So he says, here's the deal. Tonight I'm going to the ring and I'm going to call out Chris Jericho. If he decides that he's not a coward and actually wants to come out there, I'm going to show him exactly the mistake that he made. If you don't come out, Chris, I'll find you.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So then he leaves. Orange and Bandito step in. So Orange asks Renee, hey, you going to interview us after our match? And she says, no, I was just talking to Adam Cole. I know you guys weren't here this week. This is kind of what happened. And he just goes, oh, and leaves. And Bandito goes, oh, and then leaves.
Thought that was pretty funny. After that, we had a Darby and Jungle Boy interview. So Renee says, Darby asked for this time. Hey, Jack, I think we both said things last week that I think we could both.
So hold up a second.
Yeah, go ahead.
So Darby's premise was, if I knew you were going to get cheated out of your match last week, I wouldn't have been in the rafters. I would have been ringside for you. I think they're going to do the same tonight. Will you have my back? That was Darby's premise. And then Jungle Boy more or less pushed. He's like, yeah, you're right. We shouldn't have said some, like mean things to each other. Yeah. And I really wish it could have been the two of us fighting, but it's not. So good luck to you.
Yeah, right.
But I don't know. Darby's like, hey, come have my back.
Okay, so this is what confused me even more. And maybe it's simply because I missed something. Jungle Boy had his back in the end.
Yeah, but not during the match.
Oh, that's what he wanted during the match. Yeah. He was like, why aren't, because I was trying to figure out what he was shouting at him. Was he saying, why weren't you here earlier?
Yeah, I think the idea was Darby wanted Jungle Boy to come down with him ringside during the match, so MJF and Sammy couldn't pull any more shenanigans.
Okay. Oh, I got you.
That's why. But at the same time, I'm like, Darby, you have a dude. Where's Sting?
I think that last promo Stings. I think that was his way of being like, you know what, Sting's out of here. Maybe. He's old, man. He's on vacation. And Darby's used to having Sting in his corner. He's like, man, I got nobody. I feel naked out here.
But Darby just talked a bunch of trash about Jungle Boy last week and goes, hey, I may took things a little too far. Hey, I had my back tonight. What do you think is going to happen?
Because he saw the lay of the land. He was like, oh, I shouldn't have said. That's why he said that. He said, I shouldn't have said those things.
Yeah, he needed a more convincing case. Because him coming out just like, yeah, my bad. Yeah, I have my back tonight.
Jungle Jack Perry's like, I don't know, maybe probably not. But then here's the thing. Here's the stinger on it too, so to speak. Is that then Darby's like, yeah, I wish it was you and I, because I would have beat you. Like, you're asking for him to have your back? Why are you talking shit now? I know. But he had a big charming smile on his face. Maybe he just thinks he can charm him. I don't know. Just
Darby's done promos to the mirror before. I think he's fully aware how charming he is.
He's a good-looking guy, Well, you don't think so? Darby Allin's
No, I'm not saying he's not, but I'm not saying...
who's better looking, Darby Allin or Jungle Jack Perry? Oh, come on, it's Darby Allin.
I mean, they're both handsome men. but that's evidence of what I'm trying to get... The point I'm getting to. Being handsome doesn't make you charming.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Darby has a little bit of charm.
Darby's been practicing his smile, though, man.
Yeah, I know. Whereas Jungle Boy, at least on camera, is completely bereft of charisma.
Sting's telling him, you need to be more charming, man. Maybe smile more. He's like...
He does the forced smile. Like Sting says, Darby, why are you baring your teeth? I'm smiling.
I'm smiling. It's hurting my face. It's like when Bobby Roode came
out. Those muscles haven't been worked out in years.
I don't use these, man. I don't like smiling. There's nothing fun in this world. There's nothing to smile about in this world, Sting. He's like, nonsense. Showtime.
Showtime. Let me show you something to smile about. Showtime.
After that, my wrestler of the year, Jeff Jarrett, beat Dax Harwood for his tag title. Of course, when Jeff Jarrett comes out, all those damn refs start, telling him that Satnam Singh and Sanjay
Maggie brought
Dutt.
this up because I saw this on social media too. Maggie says Darby put hot sauce in his butt crack to impress Gigi Dolan.
Yeah.
That is entire approach to charm or charisma.
Yeah. Well, if you look at Darby Allin's namesake, Gigi Allen,
Yeah.
and Gigi Dolan's namesake for that matter.
Yeah.
I always thought that was cute. They're linked that way.
Yeah.
Gigi Allen, not the most charming guy in the world, nor
No.
he was not a good-looking man either, but he's
No.
also not a very charming person.
Not at all.
He used to throw his dude at people.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
used to throw poop at people.
Yeah.
Anyways. So yeah, poor Jeff Jarrett. He had his people tossed out before he can even get out there. His reaction, that always makes me laugh because he's so antsy to get to the ring.
I know. And he always takes so much offense to when he doesn't get his way.
I know. It's awesome. It's so great. And I love how old school he is. He goes for a high five and a fan tries to high five him and he pulls it away. No, not enough wrestlers do that anymore.
I know.
Then more people need to do that. It's so easy.
I know.
So anyway, Sanjay Dutt does eventually come out and try to help Jeff Jarrett. And he does, in fact, help him because Jarrett hits the stroke on Dax to get the win here. And then Dutt hands Jarrett one of the tag titles. Is there any chance that Jarrett and Jay Lethal win these tag titles? No! They gave them to the Guns. They can't give them to these guys?
Yeah, I know.
Come on, man. Cowards.
But on the list of other things Tony Khan's dropping the ball with when it comes to booking, man.
Oregon Grinder says Darby Crash had his issues too. What did Darby Crash? Oh, I don't know. I ask because sometimes these things are like super offensive. I don't remember Darby Crash. I don't remember what Darby Crash used to do. I just remember Gigi Allen used to throw poop at people.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man. I paid a ticket to come and see you in concert.
Well, that was your first mistake.
Right? Yeah. Not bringing a tarp was the second mistake.
I know. It was like going to a Gallagher show.
Act like it's a Gallagher show. Exactly.
Bring the tarp out. Yeah.
Yeah. You're not going to get fruit products on you, though. You're going to get a dude's poop.
You can get some poop products on you. Yeah.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
So after that, we had Tony Khan announcing that the Owen Hart tournament's coming back. The opening ceremonies will happen at Double or Nothing in Vegas. And the tournament will take place entirely in Canada because they're doing a Canadian tour this summer, including matches at Forbidden Door, which is in Toronto. And then the finals are going to take place in Calgary, home of the Hart family, on July 15th, which is a Saturday.
Okay.
So that's Collision.
Yeah. Happening on Collision. CM Punk, new Owen winner.
Yeah.
Could be.
That's the first thing I thought.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Right. Makes sense. You know,
he's going to be out of the title scene, so they give him that. Was the pink and black title that Adam Cole and Britt got last year?
Those are good looking. If I'm not mistaken, those are pretty good looking titles.
They weren't bad.
Yeah, those were cool.
Yeah.
There you go. That'll be his title.
They going to create a new Collision title for Phil to have?
Maybe. That's a possibility. You know, it's going to be on TNT, I think. So maybe he'll be the TNT champion.
There already is a TNT champion, Steve.
Well, he'll be the new one. He'll win it off of Wardlow or something. Does he
all
like
right.
working with Wardlow? If Wardlow's
He had a match
job
before
to
that
him.
he won.
Oh,
they did
that's right.
They did the Bret Hart Diesel finish.
That's right. He did the roll up. Yeah. Yeah, let's see. So Punk is back in June. Let's see if his body holds out for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's rude. I shouldn't say that. The Wardlow took on Jabroni guy. Do we know his name? We don't know his name.
They didn't say
his name.
They didn't.
He looked kind of
name.
like Aiden English back when he, was still had his hair.
He reminded me a lot of, in terms of his build and his size, of Mike Bennett.
Oh, okay. I could see that. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah.
But it wasn't Mike Bennett.
No, it wasn't. And Wardlow beat him pretty quickly. It was more like a heel win though. Like he just destroyed this poor enhancement talent.
Yeah, headbutt, clothesline, 4 power bombs. Yeah, that was it.
Mm-hmm. So Arn gets on the mic. Arn's just sporting all sorts of. It's like he just went to the Adidas.
Yeah, he's head
outlets.
to toe Adidas. He's got the jogging suit, the shoes, the indoor soccer shoes. I think they are.
And the way they're doing jogging suits these days, like track suits, is like it's got like the sort of the skinnier legs.
Yeah, the tapered legs. Yeah,
it was like the most uncolored, non-safe color red for like TV, so it was just burning a hole through my TV.
It really was.
Anyways, Arn gets on the mic, and this is just rambling ass promo. He says, "Jesus Christ, young man." He's talking to the enhancement talent. Get in the ice bath and drink a 12-pack.
Chrono here says that I believe is Ariel Levy.
Oh,
Ariel
okay.
Levy. He's a champ of the total local indie here. Okay.
He took those power bombs like a champ. He says he told Ariel Levy, he says, get in the ice bath and drink a 12-pack. I don't know why I sound like Stone Cold right now.
You do sound like Stone Cold.
Everybody's asking this week why. Why Arn Anderson? Why Wardlow? I tell you why. You beat a hell of a man and Powerhouse Hobbs become champion. That should make it even sweeter now. For 40 years, as all of you know, I've been in this business. For 3 years, I've been walking these halls, and I figured out who's who in that dressing room. I finally know all their names. I wrote them down. I memorized them. It's ironic that tomorrow's the draft, the NFL draft, not the WWE draft. That's on Friday. And as we all know, you get that number one pick, you take a team that's already damn good. Turn them into a dynasty. Your AEW's dynasty. Wardlow, in my estimation, out of the 150 talents walking those halls, you can put AEW on your shoulders. Then you put on a big trench coat and a fedora. You look like a really tall person. You can put...
How about he said he could take AEW to the next millennium?
Into the year 3000?
I know.
Holy shit.
Wardlow's going to be alive for the next 977 years.
I know something about you. You're immortal. As long as nobody removes your head from its body, you're going to live. He says a couple things you need to agree with me on. So he's laying out his terms right now.
Yeah.
And Wardlow's just sort of smiling. He's like, whatever, dude. Yeah, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, sure. I'll live for 900 more years. Sure.
Yeah, sure thing there, Arn. He says, given that you've looked at like 55 your entire life, your entire wrestling life, maybe you are an immortal. Anyways, he says sometimes you're going to have to put. He says sometimes you're going to have to pull a guy's eye out. Sometimes you're going to have to bite somebody's thumb off. Sometimes you're going to have to do other cannibalistic things. Put some human bones in a stew. He said maybe things are getting a little hairy. You have to pick up a chair and crack a man over the head. And then and Wardlow's like, okay, sure. I don't know what any of that means. I'm going to bite a finger off. So then Christian and Luchasaurus come out. They walk to the stage. Christian starts get on the apron, then backs down, says something to Luchasaurus, and they get out of there.
Yeah. Luchasaurus didn't seem like he was too keen to get out of there, but Christian's like, come on, let's go.
This might be the one situation where they actually have Wardlow win like a feud and the TNT title doesn't just immediately change hands.
Oh, yeah. He'll beat Luchasaurus, yeah.
Because it's like feud to feud. This title just seems to just change hands, you know?
I know. So we got an interview backstage with Sammy and MJF, and Sammy's asked how he feels about tonight's match. And before he can really say much, MJF steps in and says, hey, this is your night. This is your moment. Hey. And then he kisses Sammy on the forehead. And Renee is about to ask another question, and then Sammy kisses MJF on the forehead, tells him, you're wrong. This is our moment. We deserve this. And MJF says, you know, people are saying, Sammy, that I'm some sort of gutless coward, that I plead with Tony Khan to have this Pillars tournament. And Sammy says, you know what else they're saying? That you're paying me off to lay down a double or nothing has ruined the sanctity of the sport. And they both say, we don't care. And they laugh, ha, 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 ha. And Sammy says, you know why, Renee? Because I got a fat check. And MJF says, and I got to guarantee that the reign of terror has just begun. Samuel Guevara, tell these people what you're going to do to that freak Darby Allin. And Sammy says, tonight, Darby, I'm going to kick your face, paint, freak ass, and Max. I was going to give this to you later, but I got you a present. So he walks out of the frame, comes back with a vest, got a matching vest. And MJF says, it's funny because I got you something too, your own Burberry scarf. So Sammy puts the scarf on and they hug.
Yeah. We see
their chemistry's like good.
Oh, you can tell they're buds. Yeah, you can totally tell they're buds. They're having a good time with this. And that aspect of it I definitely appreciate.
Yeah.
I do. You know, it's just the actual storyline twists and turns that are kind of goofy, you know.
It's not the most compelling stuff.
No. After that, RJ City is on the screen. He starts talking the main event, but then he's laid out by the Blackpool Combat Club, by Mox, who picks up the mic. He says, Blackpool Combat Club has some scars to leave here on Dynamite tonight. And then Mox and Claudio leave, and Yuta stomps on poor RJ City on the way out.
Yeah.
After that, we had Darby Allin versus Sammy Guevara. MJF joins commentary. He's got a lovely jar of pickles that he's pushing the entire time.
They're available today.
Wait, so what is? Oh, is it like AEWshop.com or something?
No, was it Kalen and Kalen? I think the brand released them.
That's cool.
I saw
special MJF pickles or something. What's the deal?
Yeah, there's 3 different kinds. I looked at he was plugging them on Twitter today. Yeah, Kalen.com.
They got them at Winco.
No, you can only get them through the website. They're pricey pickles.
I like pickles, but like not enough that I'm going to pay special for them.
Like $70. It's worth the pickles. Or if I'm spending $70 on the pickles, they're going to be lasting me for years.
You're going to get like a lifetime supply of pickles. Yeah.
But I mean, like if you're an MJF fan, it's got he's on the labels and they're all specially named and all that kind of stuff. So.
Yeah, okay, sure. AEW fans, they'll do it. They'll buy anything. They'll buy those ugly AEW.
I will say
this shirts.
I've had my fair share of run of the mill pickles, your standard grocery store pickles. Mm-hmm. I have yet to have like specialty made pickles. Maybe it's a transcendent experience. I don't know.
I don't know, man. I feel like I like pickles. They're fine.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know if I'm the person to have a transcendent pickle experience.
Yeah. My grandma used to make really good pickles. Homemade fresh pickles. Yeah, they're delicious.
Wow. You just sell that shit for three jars for $70. Grandma Larson's pickles with your dumb face on it.
Trying to smile like Darby.
Yeah, shoving a big old pickle in your face. Anyways, this match happened, and it was just blatant cheating here from Sammy and MJF. They did, like I said, they did the Eddie Guerrero thing.
Yeah.
The ref fell for it this time. The refs never fall for this, but they did this time.
I know this time they did. They did. And Ty Mello was out there to distract the ref, too. It was really overbooked. So let's see. So Ty is distracting the ref while Darby's about to go up for a coffin drop. And so Darby gets off the top rope. MJF throws Darby's skateboard to him. He catches it, turned towards Sammy. Sammy bumps. And the ref turns around, sees the skateboard in Darby's hand, DQs him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And the crowd's like, so then, MJF lays out Darby. Sammy and MJF stomp on him. MJF gets him set up for a shot with the Dynamite Diamond Ring. And then finally, Jungle Boy comes to the ring to make the save. And Jungle Boy tries to help up Darby. And Darby's like, no, man. Get out of here. You're too late. MJF grabs the mic and says, please beat the living hell out of each other. It's only going to make this moment better for me and Sammy Guevara. He says, ladies and gentlemen, you're looking at the main event of Double or Nothing. So, Monkey Boy, you can grab a banana and shove it where the sun don't shine. And Darby, you can go back and do what you do best. And that's using tears while you play with yourself and listen to My Chemical Romance. That's a pretty good line. He says, you two are going back to the undercard where you belong because you both suck. Just like everybody watching at home sucks. It's like all you fans suck. And then Shivani grabs Mike because the whole time he's been like, oh, Tony Khan's talking to me in my ear. Oh, he's talking to me. Taz's like, hey, Tony, what's he saying? So he says, listen up, you prick. And MJF's like, don't call me that. He's like, I will call you that. I just talked to Tony Khan and Sammy. By winning the Pillar Tournament, you earned a title shot at Double or Nothing. But you may not be the only one. Tony Khan has just told me that next week on Dynamite, there's going to be a tag match where Jungle Boy and Darby Allin will face you two guys. And if you two can win, then it'll be just you for the world title. But if Jungle Boy and Darby win, then at Double or Nothing, it'll be a Pillars 4-way match. So.
Yeah. And then we got MJF Sammy interviews his AEW's attempt at doing like a Goodfellas type shot because it's all in one take.
Mm-hmm.
So Renee's asking for a reaction what just happened, and MJF yells at her to get out of their face. He says, you want a reaction? Ever since I won this belt, Tony Khan's been playing games. You think I'm an idiot? You think you're going to keep me around treating me like this? Let me tell you something. You got to let me tell you something. Mm-hmm. Where I go, Triple B follows. And Sammy says, yeah, that's right. And they're walking out to the parking lot, and there's an SUV there waiting for MJF. So he opens the door. And Sammy's about to get in. MJF's like, well, what are you doing? It's full. I'll see you next week. Okay, though. Is that fine? I'll see you next week, though. Okay? So while he's talking to Sammy, the camera pans over to the open door. There's no one inside.
Completely empty.
Completely empty.
Yeah.
And so MJF gets in the car, tells the driver to step on it. The car screeches away.
So here's the thing. Like, maybe MJF just should have been honest. Because this would be me. I'd be like, dude, you just had a match. You're all sweaty. I don't have any towels in here.
Oh, yeah. It's leather interior.
You stink right now. No. Like, no. You want to go, I don't have time for you to get showered and dressed. So, then it's like, oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Call it Uber then, Sammy.
Maybe, do you think Sammy would have been understanding if he was like, dude, you smell right now? He's like,
I mean, I'll say this. If MJF looked at the price or the dollar amount that Sammy put in that check and was like, all right, I agree to your terms, I'm guessing there was a lot of zeros in that particular check.
how much do you think the check was? 100,000?
Oh, no.
No.
How much would it? How much would you accept to take an L in the main event of a pay-per-view for the championship?
Free gratis, man. The exposure we'd get. I'd take exposure money for that. That's really good exposure.
I don't know. It's like I do a whole lot of good for your career where you go out there in the largest stage possible, the most important match of your career, and you take the dive.
Okay, but I thought you were talking about Steve from Going in Raw. If I'm Sammy Guevara, I'm a wrestler. Yeah, so I was like, I don't know, between 60 and 100. That's a lot of money.
That's it?
You think it's more than that?
It should be.
$100,000 is like what MJF was making like 6 months ago.
I know, but now he's making like I'm about CM Punk money, but he's making good money now.
Yeah, even if he's making $3 million a year.
Oh, $500,000 at least.
You think it's $500,000?
That's the yeah. If I'm a wrestler like Sammy Guevara,
Wow.
and I want to be world champion someday, and I have a potential to get a world championship match, and what dollar amount is it going to take for me to lay down?
Like you saw the cape that he wore.
Uh-huh.
I feel like he doesn't really need a lot.
Well, maybe that cape would have been a hell of a lot more extravagant if he was making more money.
No, you're right, dude. Evidently I am in the wrong here. Everybody in chat saying minimum of 500,000, 750,000. Yeah. What did you think it was? $1 million?
Yeah.
A third of MJF's, well, probably like half of MJF's yearly income, and all he did was, ooh, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, but like the character of MJF is supposed to come from money.
Yeah, he's supposed to be like super rich. Yeah.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. He's not, you know how I know he's not rich? Because he doesn't wear, what is it called? Coded luxury? Coded fashion?
Mm-hmm.
Burberry's a brand. Real rich people, they don't wear brands. They have brands made for them that's brandless.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was reading up on this the other day. It's
interesting.
Crazy. Yeah. Monica, my sister had mentioned it to me before. And then like I saw, because they were talking about Succession.
Yeah.
How they sort of recreate coded luxury. And it's like, if I'm a billionaire, I know that you're a billionaire because you're wearing a brandless coded luxury brand.
Mm.
Yeah, but it just doesn't say the name on it.
Yeah, yeah.
That's why everything they wear and that shit is like, it just looks super generic because it's like $6,000 for a t-shirt.
Yeah.
No, it's crazy.
It is. It really
wow,
is.
Maggie says a cool $1 million. Wow. Yeah, it'd be like $50,000. Sammy's yearly salary, $100,000.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what I would think. But no, evidently I'm wrong. Yeah.
Yep. Then we got Adam Cole Baby come in the ring. No Adam Cole Baby, none of that stuff. He just walked right to the ring. All business.
Yeah.
No boom.
Yeah.
So he comes to the ring and says, Jericho, I know you can hear me, you son of a bitch.
Son of a bitch.
It's one thing for you to run your mouth. Hell, it's one thing for you and Garcia to beat me up. But the fact that you had me handcuffed and made me watch as you orchestrated, as you constructed that beating for no good reason to Britt, that's unforgivable. Chris, you crossed that line that you can't come back from, and I swear to God, I'm going to hurt you, and I'm going to hurt you bad. And so that's it, Chris. You need to bring your ass to this ring. I'm going to beat you within an inch of your life. I'm going to smash your face. And there's still no Jericho. He keeps on going. Get the hell out here, Chris. I'm losing patience, Chris. I know you can hear me. Bring your ass out here. Still no Jericho. So Cole says, all right, I have it your way. I'll go find you. And so as he's about to leave the ring, Judas hits Jericho's music. And so he shows up on the Tron. He says, Adam Cole, you want me to come to that ring right now and fight you? Are you kidding me? I don't want to be anywhere near a man like you. A man who allowed the love of his life to get viciously beaten right in front of his eyes. 1 foot away, he did nothing to stop it. You are a coward. I want nothing to do to you. I don't want anyone anywhere near you in that ring, but my guys will. Go get him, boys. So the JAS attacks Adam Cole from behind. Orange Cassidy and Bandito run the ring to try to make the save. They get overwhelmed by the JAS as well. And that's when Roderick Strong made his AEW debut, runs the ring, clears the ring of JAS. Strong standing in the middle of the ring. Cole recovering from the attack in the corner, lock eyes, and then Cole walks towards Strong, gives him a huge hug.
Big old hug.
Heartwarming.
Oh, yeah. No, it was great. And the crowd started chanting Undisputed. That was awesome.
What a great theme that was.
That was an amazing theme. After that, we had this pile of shit, QTV.
I mean, it was promising because Hobbs wanted to rip QT's head off.
Yeah, I know. That was good. So Hobbs comes in, goes straight for QT, rams him against the wall, starts choking with his forearm. He's like, things were going good when I was following the book, wasn't it? QT says, no, look, there's a conspiracy against us. I promise you'll be champion again. Hobbs like, yeah, better be. And then Hobbs leaves and QT says, let's go to plan B. I think plan B is probably just attacking Hobbs, getting like a different wrestler to be their proxy or some shit like that.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
Yeah. So at least it seems like Hobbs is going to be damage done. The damage has been done. Hobbs is split from QT Marshall. Thanks, asshole.
And now spending 2 months feuding with QT Marshall.
Oh, fuck. You're right. God damn it. Yep. Anyways, it must be nice being one of the producers backstage because you just put yourself on TV. Anyways.
Next, we had Taya Valkyrie taking on Jade Cargill for the TBS championship. Jade gets the win here because Taya can't use Road to Valhalla, and twice she has Jade in position where she maybe hit it. And then the second time she looks for it, she hesitates. Aubrey's like, no, you can't do it. So eventually she releases the hold. Jade rolls her up to get the win with a handful of tights. It was cool. Jade did a destroyer during this match. That was awesome.
Yeah, it was cool. Yeah, that was neat.
So then Jade's celebrating her victory with Layla and Mark Sterling. And then Taya pushes Layla and Sterling out of the ring. And then Jade leaves. And so Taya gets Aubrey Edwards up for a Road to Valhalla. A bunch of refs run the ring.
They should have let her hit it. That'd have been awesome.
I know. So a bunch of refs run the ring and they break the whole thing up. So Taya's angry.
I feel like they're just going to run this back and Jade will probably actually, like, maybe Taya will actually get to, like, they'll do another match where Taya will be able to use it. And then you
know what they should do? How about this? A match where you can only hit Jaded's or Road to Valhalla and see who does it best.
The only move you can do. No lariats, no punches, no
here's the
destroyers.
Thing.
Yeah.
It's a 10-minute time limit. Whoever hits their finisher the most time wins the match.
That's great. I love that. That's an awesome idea. I'm trying to think how we'd do that in 2K because you have to like do stuff in order to build up to your finish.
Yeah.
So we can't really do that. But yeah, no, that'd be awesome, man. You just sort of go out there and you struggle to get the person into position.
Exactly.
Oh, I like that. That's a great idea.
It reminds me of a KOPW match stipulation from New Japan.
Yeah, right. Is that still a thing?
Mm-hmm.
Who's the current provisional champion? Do we know?
I don't know that.
Yeah. After that, we had a Britt Baker, Jamie Hayter promo. Britt's like, Outcast, let's get to the point. Let me tell you something, brother. I think you ladies forgot just what Jamie and I are capable of. I like to think that we're fairly decent human beings until you gave us a reason not to be. Jamie says, fair play, ladies. You got us real good last week. And an extra special thank you to Toni Storm, who ensured with her actions that I go to the local medical facility. Then you blindsided Britt. You couldn't even use your own hands. You had to use weapons. That's some real sneaky stuff. Use as many weapons as you like. Send us to the hospital as many times as you like, because this is far from over. You've declared war, and as far as I'm concerned, the only way this is going to be over is if you send us to the morgue. That's where dead people go. I clarified that last part for anybody who might not know.
Yeah.
Shingo is still, really?
Shingo still is?
Yeah. Wow.
I'll give Shingo credit because he came up with some really fun stipulations for some of those matches.
Yeah.
That one where it's like 10 minutes and it's how many pin counts.
Yeah.
That was tons of fun.
That's awesome. Yeah.
That was surprisingly thrilling down towards the end.
Yeah.
That was great. Then we got a video package for Bullet Club Gold, Jay White, Rock Hard Juice Robinson. With Ricky Starks, Sean Spears. They got a match on Rampage.
Mm-hmm.
You got to hear Juice say sweet
boys.
Yeah.
It's going to be 2 sweet boys for you. No, I like Juice, man. I kind of hope, look, number one, Bullet Club Gold, they need to get some wins. So, like, Spears is going to eat this pin or he's going to join Bullet Club Gold.
Yeah.
Sweet boy.
Could be.
Yeah.
Could be. But, like, I assume at Forbidden Door, this is going to lead to, you'd think, Bullet Club Prime versus Bullet Club Gold.
Oh, fuck, dude. I don't know.
But then if you have David Finlay lead Bullet Club Prime to Forbidden Door and job out to Bullet Club Gold, that's not a good look for David Finlay.
It's not.
Is he going to take over Bullet Club Prime and then he's going to lose this match and they're going to kick him out?
He's gonna run into the ground. He's gonna be like the dude who bought Sears and just ran into the ground. Like all those big hedge funds.
Oh yeah,
that show up and they just strip it for parts.
Same thing with Toys R Us.
That's what he's gonna do. Yeah. He's gonna be like, all right, I need all the Bullet Club inventory. Let's see what we got here, everybody. All right, fire sale.
Like
House of Torture. You guys are being sold to just 5 guys. You're gonna be just 8 guys now.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's gonna start stripping.
Wouldn't be 9 because it's
how many people
Togo, Evil. Show and Yujiro Takahashi.
Okay, the 9. Members. Just 9 guys. Yeah. That's what they're gonna be. That's what he's gonna do. He's gonna fire sell. He's like, "What's this worth? I need to get the most I can for these assets."
Could be.
Yeah.
That'd be something else.
Then we had our main event: Kenny Omega and Konosuke Takeshita versus the Butcher and the Blade. I finally went back and watched the promo on Rampage with Butcher and Blade. How Butcher was using his real voice. That was so weird.
It's talking about a sandwich or something. A little crumb falls on his shirt.
Yeah. And then Butcher's like, Blade is like, let me tell you something, brother.
Yeah.
What they call themselves, the Midnight Runners or something like that?
Something like that, yeah.
We're the Midnight Runners. I'm like, wait, is that their new name? Do they? But then they didn't put that on the card.
No, that's a nickname. They got 2 names.
Butcher and Blade. That's who they are.
Yeah, but they're also Midnight
Runners. That's a cool name.
It is.
The Midnight Runners.
Yeah.
So anyways, Danielson's in commentary. He's great during this. And then, of course, obviously, Takeshita ends up getting the win here with on the Butcher with a running knee. Towards the finishing sequence, it was like Takeshita was too fast for Butcher because there were some bits here that was like, oh shit, be careful, people. What are you doing here?
Yeah.
But anyway, everybody was fine. Takeshita hits Butcher with the knee. Danielson gets up from commentary, gets on the mic, says, "Congratulations, I see one professional wrestler in the ring who got the pin," Takeshita, "and one amateur who looks like he's exhausted, like his best days are behind him, like he's living off the legacy he built in Japan. Right next to him, I see a protege, and if he trained with the elite... if he trained with the Blackpool Combat Club, listen, if he trained with the Elite, he'd be like Cutler. He'd be washing you guys in the shower." That line fucking killed me. And then Claudio, Mox, and Yuta attack Kenny and Takeshita from behind. Brian says, "Last week we started something, and this week we're going to finish it." So he's got a screwdriver. And he says, "Mox, finish the job." He gives a screwdriver to Mox. Then the Young Bucks music hits. Claudio and Yuta go up the ramp. Bucks take them down with some super kicks. Kenny hits Mox with a Snapdragon. Bucks follow with super kicks to Mox. Kenny picks up the screwdriver, and the Bucks hold up Mox. He's looking for a pound of flesh here. Danielson tells Takeshita, he says, "You need to get in there and stop Kenny. Don't do this." So Takeshita is like, "Come on, man, don't do this. Don't do this. This is messed up." And then Claudio and Yuta pull the Bucks out of the ring. Mox pushes Kenny into Takeshita, follows with a Death Rider on Omega. Blackpool Combat Club stomp on Kenny as Takeshita watches on. And he's just like, "Oh, I can't believe this." And then the Blackpool Combat Club surround him, and they raise his hands. They're like, "Hey, you're with us." And he pulls them down, and he's like, "No." And then Brian says, "Think about what you're doing. You want to be with us." Yuta hits him with a low blow. Mox clobbers Takeshita with a screwdriver. And Brian says, "You made your choice." And Mox just stabbing him with the screwdriver.
Over and over.
Takeshita, he's all bloody.
It's violent.
Yeah.
Good stuff, though. It's the best story going on in AEW right now.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Because, it'd be kind of interesting, given that there's so many different, wrestling philosophies involved in this story. It'd be kind of interesting to see how they all get on the same page to book this stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Or how involved Tony Khan is with it,
That's a good question, too.
Yeah. Anyways, we got some questions here on the YouTube and the Patreon. Once again, if you go to patreon.com/Stephen Larson or click join on YouTube, you can ask questions right here on the show. New channel member Ulysses says, "Has Orange Cassidy elevated the international title above the TNT title?"
Yes.
I feel like he has. I don't think it's even a debate. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's close at this point. We got a few super chats here. High Plains Drifter says 150 talents. When do they do layoffs? I think Arn was just kind of doing a rough estimate.
Yeah. They
a
have
rough
a lot
estimate.
of people there. Any more super chats or no?
Yeah, Jay Black here says, "Should Wardlow bring back his corner knee?" Remember that move? That was cool.
Oh yeah, sure. Why not? Yeah. No, Wardlow's actually a fairly creative wrestler when I let him.
Yeah. Scott Owen says, "Random idea: Bobby Roode, World Heavyweight Champion, and Seth is contender." I think Bob Roode's a ways away from getting healthy.
He needs to get healthy, and then if he does come back to WWE, they have got a lot of work to do.
They do.
Yeah. Scoot here says, what wrestler have you never been able to connect with that others usually go crazy for? He says mine is Roderick Strong.
Bret Hart.
Yeah. I've come around to Bret.
Like, I can respect. I understand Bret's very, very good, maybe even a great professional wrestler.
Yeah.
Just his work's fine. I have no issue with it. It's just for whatever reason, it's never really connected with me.
Yeah. I've seen enough like clips on Twitter where I'm like, oh, you know what? He's pretty good. This guy everybody calls the best wrestler. He's pretty good. Heather says, oh, well, she says, spoiler alert. It's about a certain signee with Impact.
Oh. Yeah.
I don't know if we want to talk about that right now. Let's wait until that's actually broadcast.
Okay, fair enough.
We'll wait until that's broadcast. Heather, ask this question again once it's broadcast.
Yes. Zach Sparks here says, is it safe to say that Bobby Fish may have made the worst career decision possible trying to go out on his own instead of waiting on his friends to get healthy? Did his contract run out and AEW just not renew it?
Oh, is that what happened? Boy,
is that what it was?
That's possible. Yeah, that sounds right. That sounds possible. Ryan says, when are they? Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention that Darby Sammy table spot. Oh my God.
Oh yeah, that was nasty.
That was crazy. Ryan says, when do they decide that putting someone through a table isn't considered a DQ anymore? So the rules always change, man.
Yeah, they do. It's nebulous.
Yeah.
Nebulous. Zach DeHack said, when was the last time we had such an underreported, surprising debut like Roderick Strong's? It's been a while.
All Out 2021. I don't think anybody reported on Cole or Danielson. One of the two.
No, there was reporting on both of them joining AEW prior to that. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know about that.
For sure, Cassidy Haynes said that Bryan Danielson had signed with AEW before All Out.
What about Adam Cole?
I believe there was reports that he was going to show up.
I thought one of them. It was like, whoa, what the hell? Jeremy Krecklau says, when Vince was forcing himself back in position, the board sent him a letter saying, stop. There's more the public didn't know about. Should we assume this lawsuit is the more stuff? I don't know if we can assume that, but it wouldn't surprise me if that was the case. Malachi, True World Order brings up Malachi. I don't think there was reporting on Malachi, but then I don't know.
Yeah.
Caboose says, if you could be a manager of someone except for Von Wagner, who would it be? I like the assumption is we'd become the manager.
That we'd want to be Von's manager, I know.
Yeah.
Could be any promotion, or does it have to be?
I'd want to be the manager to Arn Anderson, who is the manager to Wardlow.
Oh, okay.
I want to be a manager to a manager. Yeah.
All right.
That'd be fun.
I mean, that would be a pretty cool deal because you know what the dress code is? Comfy. Yeah.
Comfortability.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I can't really beat that.
Oh, Diehard Homer says Uncle Howdy.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, comfort would be my number one decision there,
Yeah.
Let's see here. Alvin Jones says, so Roddy, Cole, and O'Reilly for Trios champions when he comes back?
That's pretty cool.
Possibility. Maggie says Steve's tracksuit would be purple. It'd be deep purple.
Deep purple. Steve's all about deep purple these days.
Yeah. What do we have?
To a surprising degree.
What do you have on? Not really. Not if you really know me. What do we have there on the Patreon?
My word. Let's see.
I got the oh my word. Wow.
Oh my word. Chris Stanton, aside from the elite, what AEW wrestlers do you think would get to keep their name if they jumped to WWE?
Oh, okay. Wardlow?
Probably. Ricky Starks. Would Ricky
Arn
Starks
Anderson.
keep his name?
Ricky Starks? Yeah, he would.
Yeah, I think he would too.
I'd actually
Jay
be
White?
kind of... Yeah.
MJF?
I think the question should be who wouldn't keep their name.
For the most part, if you've won a title in AEW, I think you're going to keep your name for sure.
Yeah. Like Darby Allin, he'd keep his name.
Yeah.
I think everybody would.
Yeah.
Like Griff Garrison wouldn't, you know?
No.
like low, like Dark Elevation people.
They'd probably change Brian Pillman Jr.'s name.
They might change. God, but Will Hobbs is a good name. Powerhouse Hobbs is a good name.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of feel like everybody would keep their names.
That's
like
Maximum Impact. You've known, instead of, if you've known this wrestler in AEW and they came to WWE with that same name, it's like, oh shit, this person left AEW. It'd be kind of foolish for them to take a regular from AEW just to change their name.
At this point, I even kind of feel like it's 50-50 as to whether or not Mox would go back to being Dean Ambrose.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see here. X Ryan says power rank top 5 characters who have a Finn Balor demon-like gimmick. Who have a one, or maybe should have one.
Well, no one else should have that gimmick. It's not that good.
Sammy Guevara.
He's got the cape for it.
He's got the cape for it. Yeah, exactly. How about this? What if Luchasaurus has like a regular person gimmick?
Oh, and then when he's like for special matches.
It was kind of like Abyss had like Joseph Park.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Let's see here. Oh, that's a good question. Luis, honest question. Does the 4-pillar Fatal 4-Way really deserve a main event over Blackpool Combat Club versus the Elite?
No.
No.
But it's for the title, so it will. Right.
Yeah. The story's better for the Blackpool Combat Club versus the Elite. It's got more star power.
By far, yeah.
Yeah.
All the star power is wrapped up in that.
Yeah, pretty much.
Right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but nothing's on the line.
Oh, JR Jr. here says, the Shit Twins are called in to work a blood and guts match. Choose your 2 partners. Who are your opponents and what's your strategy to win?
Feet on the ground, safe and sound. I'm not going on top of that cage. That ain't happening. Nope. Wasn't Eddie like Kingston like really freaked out being on top of the cage?
I think so, yeah.
He went up there. He was like, yeah. God, I still honestly like the scare.
Oh, blow at your knees.
Blow at your knees. Like he's a big dude.
Yeah. Luis here has a super chat says, should AEW Collison be a different color from Rampage, like the color palette, I guess?
Yeah, it should be.
Yeah. Make it its own thing. Unique.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Make it unique.
Absolutely. Oh, wow. We're getting people saying that the stream cut.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Looks like it actually cut on the YouTube. Oh, wait. Hold on. Is it back? I don't know. Anyways, right now is a good time to wrap it up because it seems like we're falling apart, everybody. That's going to do it for the day. Thanks for watching. Until next time, we'll talk to you later.
Goodbye. That was fun on YouTube.
Now it's fine. My stomach is growling up something.